Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and on the significance of the floating book fair, Logos Hope, that arrived at the city of Port Said on the 4th of January. We're glad to be joined over the phone by Ms. Nada Fekry, a tourism expert. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
MV Logos Hope arrived in Egypt on the 4th of January 2023 in conjunction with the Cairo International Book Fair. Would you brief us on the significance of this book fair, the floating book fair, which is actually a very interesting idea to know about?
Well, for us to have it back, the last time that it was here in Egypt was 2010. For us to go through and have the honor to have them back with us, and so with the Egypt Book Fair that is going right up about the corner, I think it's a great opportunity for us to raise awareness regarding reading, or increase the awareness regarding reading and how important it is for our young generation to know that in order to build right and build your mindset, you need to know you need to read different books and know different cultures and have them with us. And the preparation that is done to scaling the security and inviting people over to see and experiment this mega culture event is very interesting for us.
Mm-hmm. Well, encouraging people to read in general, the Ministry of Culture has launched various initiatives in this regard. Would you tell us more about the most effective initiatives that took place to encourage people, and specifically students and children, to start reading?
Well, there was various events and campaigns that was done for either the library or within Alexander culture as well. There was many events that were created especially the young adults were involved, that they need to read more books, and also they were able to renovate some of the old books that were lost through the history, and providing it in different locations, so you won't be able to travel abroad or far away from the place that you're living in order to find something to read. So the events and the fairs, book fair, and the library's renovation all around Egypt is one of the things that is encouraging people to feel like you're not like a bookworm. This is the culture that you can be in. Along with book fair and reading books communities, whether on the social media or offline as well, is encouraging people within the different generation actually.
Mm-hmm. Talking about cultural tourism in general, what from your own perspective are Egypt's chances to occupy a leading position among cultural tourism countries?
For us, in order to know, basically I had a friend that told us, in order to understand the cultural tourism, you need to visit Egypt, where you will enjoy not only the tourism, but also the how we were able to renovate monumental sites and how the government took place in it, along with the opening of Sharm El-Sheikh International Museum. You will be able to enjoy water activities in the morning and learn about the ancient Egyptian culture at night. Mm-hmm. So this type of facilities where, and moving along as well, that you created a new grand museum within basically within Cairo or Giza, you were able to witness the normal daily life for Egyptians nowadays and go through the ancient life and modern life. I think this is one of the significance that is making us different on the map. When you're desperate to go to Egypt, you know that you're not going through a specific time, you're going through the whole lifetime of Egypt, from beginning from the ancient history till the time being.
Yes, in your opinion, what are the different elements of cultural tourism available here in Egypt?
Cultural tourism, we have the Grand Museum, of course, and the Nile cruises. the tower for me, and the two, basically. And of course, we can say the complex of religion here as well. You will be able to visit different types of religions. With different countries.
What are the places tourists are aiming to visit with regards to cultural tourism and the cultural touristic destinations?
Well, actually, I think it's basically how you want to schedule your plan or a touristic plan you want to go through. Whether you're interested in learning about the Asian culture, or you're learning about a specific monument, or you're just here to see. I heard a lot of books about the museums here in Cairo, and I would like to check it out. So you have different types based on the preference of the city itself. I think this is one of the ads that we have.
Yes, well, and talking about tourism in Egypt in general, now all year round, Egypt is the ideal destination due to its unique place on the world's map, and when winter approaches, also it's the best escape from the cold weather in Europe and in other parts of the world. What are the best tourist destinations, in your opinion, in winter as opposed to summer also?
Okay. So actually, winter in Egypt is the perfect time to explore the 7,000 years of its history without breaking a sweat. You will be able to experiment going to Aswan, Luxor, Sinai, Dahab. So you will be able to enjoy the sunny beaches and with a cool breeze at night. So you have different locations where you can enjoy, and it will be better for you. So I guess the lucky people are the ones that come in winter, because you will be able to do some extreme adventures without breaking sweat, like kayaking from Luxor to Aswan, rock climbing in Dahab, dirt biking in the desert, and trekking in Sinai. So as you can visit some of the
how do you view the Ministry of Tourism's initiative or policy of integrating beach tourism with cultural tourism?
Like I said, one of the key things that I got positive feedback about was the launching of the museum in Sharm el-Sheikh a couple of years ago. And I was told on one of the tours that it would be great for every if there's like a connection between the beach and a cultural place. And I think they're working through the ministry at the moment. They're trying to make the whole picture clear, where providing some of the recommendation of the tourists that it's better to go through the whole life journey of Egypt. And you can enjoy, and facilitating that some of the museums are open at night, so you can enjoy in the morning the beach and the sandy beach, which is one of the things that people think that Egypt is in a vision sand, even though Egypt, those soft white sand beaches are not well known as they should be, and are actually competing with some of the best in the world, some of the best beaches in the world. So I think it would be nice if we can fit some of the elements or create like a small stop that you can visit at night within the beach places at historical places.
Yes. Would you highlight the efforts of the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities to diversify the country's tourist destinations?
Basically, when we're not focusing at the moment at just the cultural tourism, we're also focusing on the therapeutic tourism and the type of diverse people that would like to come. Some of these tourists like to come in summer, some of them like to come in winter, some of them are, especially due to our lifestyle at the moment, some of them are working from here and living through the touristic life. So I think for us, the facilitation and making it the security as well, and making it all clear and precise, everything that is for the tourists in order to go through the process, whether it's easier for you to go to the therapeutic or the medical tourism or its cultural tourism, we make it safe and we do some programs that are effective to their needs.
Well, talking about Nile cruises and its significance here in Egypt, and how it is not only a journey through land, but through thousands of years of history, culture, religion, and architecture. Would you tell us your intake on Nile cruises that takes place here in Egypt, from Cairo to Luxor and to Aswan and to different parts of Egypt?
Perfect. The Nile cruise is one of the main activities that is it's better suited at winter time, as you can be able to like stretch in the deck and feel the river breeze. I think this is that now. Before it was something like new, and we want to try it along, kind of this hectic.
Yes.
Now with the new regulations and with the constant renovation of the roads and the facilities and so on, I think this will be one of the top destinations at the moment when anyone is visiting us. It will be better for even sustainability to go through the beach or the river, the rivers through instead of using cars or buses.
Well, how do you assess the tourist flow into Luxor during the winter season here in Egypt?
Well, I think, like we said, basically that this is our message: visit Egypt in winter, and the best places to be there is Aswan and Luxor due to the humidity, the extremely hot weather during summer. So it's perfect to be able to kayak or through the Nile cruise through Luxor and Aswan, and try extreme adventure of Egypt that we can offer for them. And nowadays, I can tell you from what I can see and through my job, we have actually a very strong flow at the moment and requirements from all over Egypt, from all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Well, preparing the Road of Rams in Luxor is considered one of the most important archaeological projects undertaken by the state. How do you see the significance of this project?
Let me say, the Road of Rams was one of the greatest agriculture projects at the moment taken by the state, because not only it's a place that you can go and see some past monuments, but we know how to preserve and how well we can put it back in time. And it takes you through the journey, living the look and feel of the destination or the road that you're going through from the part of the touristic vision. But from our vision as Egyptians, I think for us to be able to keep our monuments intact, we're able to do it with an excellent quality. This makes us like a huge success through our work.
Mm-hmm. How far do you think this project will boost classical tourism in Egypt? And do you think that classical tourism is back on track here in Egypt?
Basically, I can say yes, due to the security level that is provided and the enhancement that is done through the roads as well as through the facilities to get into Egypt. And the constant renovation, we could say that we could say almost 95 to 90% back on track.
Mm-hmm. How would you see the significance of developing the area of the pyramids area and the Grand Egyptian Museum area? Would you shed more light on the most remarkable features of the state's development plan for these areas?
Well, before you had to go through cracked roads, and it was a bit of a bumpy road to go through the pyramids or the Grand Museum. But now, well, everything is like connect somehow. So, in order for the tourism to be great, we need to make sure that the road leading from the X to Y is safe, is not pause it, and it could not destroy that you don't reach the place you're frustrated or you're angry before starting your tourism, tourist part, as well as to say that the part where we starting the new museum in the pyramid
Yes.
is going to make you feel like you're you opened into a book and you're living a whole new experiment. Without anything, the pyramids are one of the seven wonders in the world, and people go from all over the globe just to see the pyramids. So when we add and we create the whole environment is suitable and safe for the tourists, it will make us speak. And this is why I said basically the tourism is fast with a good level.
The Grand Egyptian Museum is actually Egypt's gift to the world. Would you tell us more about the significance of this museum and what are your expectations for the inauguration ceremony, and how will it boost tourism industry in Egypt?
Well, the integration of the Grand Egyptian Museum actually will change the tourist map of Cairo, and is doing that at the moment because it's one of the world's largest museums through a single civilization.
Yes.
This will definitely change not only the road map of positioning tourism in Egypt, but also internal tourism as well. Due to how the museum was opened and the ceremony that was done, everyone is interested and curious to know and read more, which will get us back to the reading part, read more about them and would like to visit. So we're not only, the Grand Museum not only boosts the touristic, external touristic, the tourism part, but also the internal. Lots of people are back to visit. I want to know more about my country.
Right, go ahead.
No, I was saying, due to as well the number of pieces, it's almost a huge collection for tourists as well. Jewelry, clothes, cosmetics, lots of things will be added in the museum actually.
Right. Well, I would like to thank you very much, Ms. Nada Fekry, tourism expert. Many thanks for your insight. And dear viewers, that brings us to the end of this edition of Cairo Local Time. Many thanks for watching and stay tuned for more coming up here on Nile TV International.